Bro, I'll be honest with you. I nearly didn't make this video today. Not because something went wrong. Nothing was like critically stopping me. But simply because it would have been easier not to. Why am I walking so fast? I'm always walking fast. I haven't even had my coffee yet. In fact, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna stop and have coffee right now.
Going with the Uganda today.
When I was interrogating my feelings last night as to whether or not I should make a video today, I came to the realization that this is where consistency actually lives. It's not in the days when I'm excited about making a video, or there's a beautiful location I'm going to, or I've got a big idea. But it's actually in these moments when no one would blame me for not showing up and for skipping a day, you know, giving it the rest. I think it's enough. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Malcolm Renes, and I make videos where I explore topics of human nature whilst I'm in nature. Today I'm in a place called Rondeflei, which is wedged in between Sedgefield and Wilderness on the garden route. Man, it was really difficult to find the time to make this. Like I said, there was nothing critically stopping me from making this video. I do have like a really bad knee at the moment. I've got like a knee issue thing. I've got a lot of work to do. Like, there's many reasons why it was just easy not to. Pretty tired, would have been nice to sleep in. But man, I've come to realize that this is where it's at. It's the days when it's going to be boring, where it's not going to be super eventful and exciting, and I mean, this is beautiful. Granted, it is beautiful, but it's not an epic mountain, you know what I'm saying? There are epic mountains close by, the Otanikwa mountain range, which I do want to hike at some point. Some days it's just about showing up, still giving it your best. I don't want to make a bad video. I'm still gonna do my best, but once I got here, I was very glad that I did it. Okay, there's a bird hide here, and that actually reminded me of a job where showing up consistently felt insignificant in the moment, but ended up being somewhat critical to the bigger picture. So I'm gonna hit there and I'm gonna tell you that story. This stuff always reminds me of something that Bear Grylls used to use on his adventures. He called it old man's beard. I'm not sure if this is the same thing, but he always used to use it for like kindling when he made fires. Always reminds me of him. What a legend. Old man's beard. Speaking of old, I just walked past a group of like 20 elderly folk, and they were just all smiley and happy, and it was kind of just a reminder for me as to why I do this, you know. I know it's nice to be on an epic mountain that's all challenging and stuff, but it's actually just about getting into nature. Because the second I got here, I just felt better, and it's because of where I am. That's it. That group, they took down my YouTube details, so if you're watching this, thank you for the reminder.
those cormorants coming in. Cormorant? Cormorant?
No.
There was about 500 that came in there. Kind of far away.
I just came from the hide. I really wanted to chill in there and talk, but there's a guy taking photos, which is what a hide is for, obviously. So I wasn't about to destroy that man's peace. Yeah, I just wanted to tell this story about this time when showing up and being consistent, even though it didn't feel significant, ended up being rather significant. Actually, let me use this tree as a tripod. There we go. So there was once when I had the privilege of working on one of these like massive wildlife shoots, and I was like second camera. I was the B cam. There was like the main guy who got all the crazy shots, you know, slow motion. It was a bird shoot, so there were like these super slow-mo birds diving and trying to attack other birds. We were filming in Namibia, and my job was that I had to sit in a tent, also called a hide, and film, you know, these birds that would be preyed on, film them sort of landing and gathering and taking off. And so it was kind of like the boring stuff, and I did it for like 2 weeks. I would just, for like 4 or 5 hours, just sitting there and get all of these shots. And I was very new at that time to wildlife, and so there was no guarantee that they would use any of the footage. What I didn't realize is that in order to build that sequence of that specific bird and the behavior and, you know, even the cool stuff that the main camera guy was getting, of the birds being like preyed on by the predator bird, all of these shots that I was getting was sort of helping build that sequence. And, you know, I kind of just had to try and do the same thing every day, and I enjoyed it, but it didn't feel significant in the time. But what I didn't realize was that in the final sequence, it actually ended up being so important to building the bigger story and the bigger picture. And so I think that's just a lesson with consistency, is that there'll be many days when it feels boring and it feels insignificant and unimportant, but those may end up being the building blocks of this bigger picture. And so I'm trying to be better at that, to just, on the days when it feels insignificant and boring and maybe not as epic as one might hope, that I'll just continue showing up. It's the one thing I'm learning about parenting. I'm not a parent, but, you know, there's this idea that we need to give kids like these amazing things and experiences and stuff. But actually, I've just heard from so many kids and parents now that the most important thing is just for the parent to show up. And it's just that consistency of showing up that ends up being the most important. So I'm going to try and just show up more, even when, you know, even when it's a bit boring. Not that parenting is boring, I'm sure it's amazing. But yeah, you get what I mean. Anyway, let me keep going. I'm glad I showed up, because I guess consistency isn't built on our best days, but it's built on the days that don't seem important enough to matter. It's tough, but it's these days that are going to build that consistency muscle. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. As always, thanks for watching. If you're not yet subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. And remember that you have one life, so live today. I'll catch you in the next one.
Ain't no talk back or fight.